doing that. But, the thing that really stood out, as we're going in, what we share is, through the years, there's things that we've learned about ourselves, mistakes we've done, and that's all part of the journey of God working on us on trials. Friday night, Brandon and Art actually did the cooking. So I was kind of, leaning, but this is actually the goal of what we do. After had the meeting with the men, there was a bunch of men that actually wanted to take over in the yard and sitting up and with the food bank. So there are some things that we now are doing that's happening right now with some of the men. And I was telling James, hey, I was coming to church today, and I'm a numbers guy, right? And we got 50% of the men that's really ready now. And the goal is really to get up all the men as time goes on. But you know what, to be honest with you, I was always that guy that don't get stereotyped. Struggling with this. If you look at the big churches, if you tell any pastor if you have 50% of the men is really involved, I guess any pastor would say, but I was one of the men that was struggling with that. But I had to really start changing my mindset, start looking at the positive, and over time, being patient. Pastor said, just be doing with the word, being a man of work. It's so critical for us to hear. When my son is saying, not just getting fed, but as we get fed, the most important life is things to our life, our marriage, raising our kids, our finances, our health, everything encompasses our walk with the Lord. Pastor said, the amazing plans he had, when we are obedient to his word, it's amazing. It's really, it's almost mind-blowing that you can have it understand. You can come into a place, you have this ultimate peace, all these crazy things that we all go through, and we all go through. We get family members, and we get other people, sometimes other people in church. And once you start understanding this God that we serve, things just start changing the way you look at things. Something that I went through, still going through, to be honest with you. I just want to thank Pastor for the opportunity. Thank you for Pastor for just giving me that. To be honest with you, just to be able to, knowing that he's a regular man that goes through similar struggles, probably more than all of us, and with so many have, I promise that I will be a servant to the Lord, to my pastor, and respect, and I love. And I'm not just going to tell you that, but I will show you through my actions. Thank you. I love you all. Thank you, Pastor.
We just started our next series in the House of Faith, and this is an important series for us. This came up with a series on stewardship. How God has, we've come to the foundation, we've laid the foundation that what we have is not ours, right? That what we have all comes from God. Yeah, that everything we have is from Him, that was created through Him, through His Son Jesus Christ. And we've laid that foundation already, I believe. That what I have, God, is not mine, it's ours. We're just managers of it, right? We're just temporary citizens here on this earth. We're citizens of heaven, Scripture says. Yeah? We're citizens of heaven. As much as we are citizens of this, or what do you call that? Not membership, but we are Hawaii citizens, right? Okay. On top of that, we are citizens of heaven. We're creators of an awesome God. God created us in His image and His likeness. Right? We've been created for amazing things. We've been given power. Jesus said, "You have more power than I have because I sit at the right hand of the Father. And the same things I do, you shall do, but you shall even do greater things." And that is the promises that we're talking about today. When we talk about a house of faith, we're talking about faith because why? According to the Scripture, if you look at your notes, we cannot come to God without faith. Nothing pleases God than His children having faith in Him, right? It says here in Hebrews 11:6, it says, "And it is impossible to please God without what? Faith." And the word pleasing God basically means this. In the Greek it says it's impossible to walk with Him. It's impossible to be acceptable to Him. It's impossible to be well-pleasing to God without faith. Without faith. Salvation does not come by who we are. Salvation doesn't come by how heavy we weigh, how tall we are, what color we are. Salvation doesn't come by the awesome abilities, talents, and works that we do. No, salvation comes by faith. It's impossible to walk with Him. It's impossible to be acceptable unto God without faith. And this faith that we're talking about this morning, we're talking about a faith that comes and stems from truth. That's the faith that we're talking about. Faith that we're talking about this morning is one that stems from truth. That means when the truth is read or the truth is heard, when you read the truth, when you go through your scriptures, it now sets a compass for your life through either conviction or through either the Holy Spirit's prompting. And that's the truth that we're talking about, or faith. That's the faith that we're talking about. It's your reliance upon Christ and Christ only for salvation. That's what I believe, right? I believe in the cross. That He died upon the cross because of why? Because He saw how wretched I was. Amazing grace, how sweet that sound. He saved the sin and wretched man of this life. Right? Isn't that what it's all about? It's about understanding what our faith is. And it's impossible to please God without faith. Anyone who wants to come to Him must believe, say believe, that God exists and that He rewards those who sincerely seek Him. The word seek Him means diligently, earnestly, a person who searches out, as in investigates. I like that. As one who investigates. Who is this Jesus in my life? I need to investigate this. Or somebody told me Jesus rose from the dead. I need to investigate that. Somebody told me that Jesus is the only way to heaven. I need to investigate that. One who sincerely seeks after Him, passions, desires, hungers, and craves, and worships Him. Those are the ones that Jesus is looking for and asking and seeking out. And it's impossible to come to Him and please Him and walk with Him without what? Our faith in Him. He says, our faith in Him. Yeah. Last week we talked about the house of obedience. As we looked through the life of Moses, we talked about how he built a huge ship and how he was obedient to God's directions and call. And his obedience was not only a blessing to him and his wife, was a blessing to his children and his family. But we also talked about how his obedience was not only his obedience, but his obedience came from the generations that came before him. Amen. Today we look at the house of love, the family of faith. Today we look at the life of Moses. And not only the life of Moses, and not only a physical house, but we look at a nation that God had called, that God pulled out of slavery. And here we look at Deuteronomy chapter 6, verses 1 to 10. This morning we ask the Holy Spirit, how can I learn, Holy Spirit, how to not only have a house of faith, how not to only have a house of obedience, but most importantly this morning, how can we have a house of love? A house of love. See, today we look at a nation. We look at a nation of Israel and look where God has placed them at. Because God brought them out of one place into another place. And this place here has twofold. This place here that God has put this nation of people, using Moses, who didn't want to go back in the first place, because in his own eyes and understanding, he thought that he could not do what God was calling him to do. But what we need to understand that God calls us to places that we cannot do it in our own understanding and power. But only God can, for those who are faithful to Him. Amen? Amen. There's a question that I want to ask all of us here this morning. And I think I put it up on top of that part of the book. The question is that, why are you at, or where you are at in your life today? That's the question. Why are you at the place that you are at today in your life? Well, where are you at in your life today? asking yourself, why am I at where I'm at? I don't know what answer you put on this. But do you know that the answer that you put down is because of your faith? Right? Think about it. Do you know that the answer that you put down is because of your faith? And whatever answer that you put down, you should have taken a minute, write it down. Whatever answer that you give me right now in your head, you are where you're at, or I am where I'm at, or I am where I'm here right now, because of your faith. You must be saying, not. It is. There's either two things. It's because of your lack of, or it's because of your faith. You're at where you're at because of your faith. See, because whatever you believe that brought you up to this point in your life. Because whatever you believe, you act upon your belief. Right? And then you see the bill come in every week. Oh no, that much on my car? But you are where you are and you're at where you're at because of faith. Either the lack of it, or because you step out in obedience to it. Because sometimes we're at a place in our life because God's placed us there and He wants to test us. It's because of your faith. We're in Deuteronomy chapter 6. What's happening? Well, they went through Exodus, they went through Leviticus, they went through Numbers, and God basically now in Deuteronomy 6 is actually leading a new generation into the promised land. The generation before this did not obey God. They had a lack of faith. And they were at a place in their life that they were there because of why? Because they lacked faith or wasn't obedient to their faith. So the consequences of faith is where they are at. But the key this morning is we cannot let where we are at dictate where we're going to be. Amen. That's the key. We cannot let where we are at or where we've come from dictate where we're going to be in Christ Jesus. But the key this morning is this. Wherever you're at, don't let it dictate where you're going to be. Because the only thing that should dictate where you're going to be is faith. Say faith. Faith is your faith. And however big your God is, and however you feel your promise is, according to God, is where you're going to end up being. Makes sense? In Deuteronomy chapter 6, verses 1 through 10, gives us a powerful message. Such a powerful message. And it's a message that revolves really around one word, and this word called love. Love. Moses built an ark, and that ark was really the sign of Moses' obedience and love to God. I don't think Moses woke up one day and said, I'm going to build an ark. 1.5 football field length, wide, long, right? And about a football field wide, right? 4 stories up. And he said, man, I'm going to do that. And guess what? It'll take me 120 years to get it on. I don't think he woke up to that. I just think he woke up and heard God say, get up. Deuteronomy 6 verse 1, the message to Moses from God was, these are the commands, decrees, and regulations that the Lord your God commanded me to teach you. You must obey them in the land you are about to enter and occupy. Verse 2, and you and your children and grandchildren must fear the Lord your God as long as you live. If you obey all his decrees and commands, you will enjoy a long life. Verse 3, listen closely, Israel, and be careful to obey. Then all will go well with you, and you will have many children in the land flowing with milk and honey, just as the Lord, the God of your ancestors, promised. This is God promised. But here, verse 4 through 10. Listen, O Israel. The Lord is our God, the Lord. Verse 5. And you must love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your soul, and all your strength. And you must commit yourselves wholeheartedly to these commands that I am giving you. Repeat them again and again to your children. Talk about them when you are at home and when you are on the road, when you are going to bed and when you are getting up. Verse 8, tie them to your hand and wear them on your forehead as reminders. Verse 9, write them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Verse 10, the Lord your God will soon bring you into the land he swore to give you when he made a vow to your ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. It is a land with large, prosperous cities that you did not build. Wow. See, the question this morning was, where are you at? Why are you at where you are at? And the answer that I hope that we understand this morning, we are where we at, or where we at today is because of my faith. Because of my faith. But in order to have a faithful home or a family of faith this morning, there's three questions that we need to ask ourselves. And the question that we need to ask ourselves this morning is this. Number one is right in your notes. Why should my home be a place of family faith? That's the first one. Why? Why should my home be a family faith? Why should my home be a place of family faith? The second question you need to ask yourself is, how will my home be a place of family and faith? Not just why, but how. But then the third question that we need to ask ourselves is, what will happen when my home becomes that family of faith home? The first question is, why? When Jesus was teaching in the synagogue and when he was teaching in the cities, he was asked by a religious leader. In fact, in the scripture it says he was asked by one of the teachers of the law. And trying to trick Jesus, in Matthew 22, they asked Jesus this question. Well, out of all of the laws, what is the most important one? And Jesus said in Matthew 22, verse 37 through 40, he says, Jesus replied, you must love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your soul, and all your mind. Jesus basically said you must love God with all that you have. Your emotions, everything about you, your heart, you must love him in that way. You see, you must love him in what? With all of your soul. What is your soul? Your being, everything, your thoughts, everything that's inside of you. Not only your heart, but everything inside of you should be what? Of a worship to God. He says, what else? He says, you love your God with all your what? Mind. That means what? Your body, your physical abilities, your thoughts, everything that fills you is what? Turned over as a worship and love to him. He says, that is the most important commandment. And Jesus goes on saying in Matthew 38, this is the first and greatest commandment, 39, and the second is equally important, to love your what? Neighbor this, the entire law and all the demands of the prophets are based on these what? 2 commandments. All the laws basically fall under this commandment of what? Loving who? God. All 600 and so laws that was given there in Leviticus and in Deuteronomy, all those laws are summed up into this very one law. And it's called what? Love. Love. It's called love. See, you and I are here. You are where you are at today. Because why? Because of God's love for you and your love for Him. Amen? Amen. You are where you're at today because of your faith. Your faith is the measurement of the love that you have for who? For God. And you're where you're at today. You're going to be where you're going to be tomorrow. Because I pray it comes out of your love for God. And then you show your love for Him with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength because of why? Because of Him. Makes sense? Yeah. The first question is, why should my home be a place of family faith? Well, number one, according to the scripture here in Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 4, it says, Listen, O Israel, the Lord is what? Our God, the Lord alone. And you must love Him with all your heart, soul, and strength, and you must commit, say commit. Amen. You must commit yourselves wholeheartedly to these commands that I am giving you today. Why should my home be a place of family faith? Because God is not asking us, God is commanding us this, that one, I'm God. I'm the big kahuna. And there's no other God like me. In fact, you can read back in Deuteronomy chapter 5, it gives the 10 commandments. If you read back into Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 32, starting with that, guess what it talks about? I'm the only God. And there's no other God like me. In fact, if you read in Exodus chapter 3, where Moses was standing at the foot of the burning bush, what did God tell Moses? Just go back and tell them the I am has sent me. Right? The God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's the one I want you to go back and tell my people. That's the one that is pulling you out of slavery and to bring you back at this very place. He told Moses to do what? To worship Him. To do what? To love Him. So why should our homes become a what? A faithful home? Because our faithful home shows how much we love what? Jesus. Amen? Shows us how much we love God. The why is because God is God. And it's impossible to please Him without what? Faith. And we love Him by what? By listening, by hearing, by learning, and by knowing every day more and more about who our God is. Amen? It's about learning and listening and knowing that God is God. He is the only God. Why should our home become a family of faith or a faithful home? It's because God desires it for our lives. God commands us to. God wants us to. God created us to become a family. Become a house of faith. Amen? He says, listen up, man, guys, just love me. I'm the only God that you have. There's no other gods like me. And I created you to do what? Who's created you to love? I created you to love. I created you to do the things that I made you to do and created you to do. And all I want you to do is this, just commit your life wholeheartedly to the things that I teach you. The things that I show you. So the question why is because why? Because God wants me to just love you. God wants me to love you. So the question this morning, number 2, is how? How will my home be a place of family faith? How? How does this happen? How do I take my home to take it to where God wants it to be? You know what verse 6 and 7 says? Verse 7 it says this, repeat them again and again to who? To your children. Talk about them when you are at where? Home. When you are on the road. When you are going to bed. And when you are getting up. Verse 8. Tie them to your hands and wear them on your forehead as reminders. Verse 9. Write them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. How are we going to do this? We know why we need to do it, right? We know why we need to do it. But how? How, Pastor? How do we do this? Number one is just teach them. Teach who? Teach your family. Teach your family. Teach your family what? Teach your family about the love of God. Teach them. How do I teach them? Easy. Talk to them. That word talk basically means it's an ongoing talk. How? When you get up, when you go back down, when you jump in the car, when you walk in the mall. Talk about it. No, I mean, God said, don't need that. Right? Hey, let's pray. Pray about that. Let's pray for the family. Does that make sense? But the key is this, that we not only teach them, that we not only teach the things that we know about God, and that's why it's important to grow in your knowledge about God, because we're really going to teach our kids what we know ourselves. But here is the next step. We must teach them, but we must also what? Live. We must also live it. Because if I teach my kids and I'm not living it, my kids will look at me and go, yeah, right there. You just pulled a guy at the stoplight, buzz off. Where is God's love? We must teach it, and we must live it. How do we live it? See, the Bible says here, whenever you grow up, whenever you get up, God will live for you. When you go down, God, thank you for giving me another life to live. Right? And I jump in my car, and I go down the road, and I'm approaching work. You're at your workplace because of what? Your faith, right? Oh, that's right. You're at your place because of faith. God put you there for a purpose and a reason. You didn't get it yourself. God placed you there for a purpose and reason. So I know where I'm at, God, because God, I'm driving up to my workplace, God. You blessed me with this, God. Now guess what, God? Oh, God, let me be of a what? A witness for you in my workplace. Many of us coach. Praise God. God made you a coach because you're there. Because God wants you to be a coach, a light in a dark place. Makes sense? We must teach it. And we must live it. You know, when I first stepped into ministry, I kid you not, one reason why I didn't want to go into ministry is because I thought that it wasn't a good example for my class. So one of my things in my heart that I had to struggle with God, because I let my past dictate where it was and where God wanted me to be. And that just shackled me, man. And not only that, man, I was watching pastors' kids, and like, holy miracles, man, the kids, pastors' kids will come like that. I don't want to be a pastor. And that be another stake in my life to hold me down from letting God take me where He wanted to be at, and to take me where God wanted to be. Does it make sense? Oh, that was just holding me back. I was like, well, where's God? And I saw a statistic one day that 60% of children who grew up in the church leave the church and don't come back. passive because I want my kids to not love God and leave the faith. After I read through that one article, a couple articles that I read on that, you know the underlying theme here? It wasn't because they weren't raised in the youth group. It wasn't because the pastor was a junk preacher. That's what it was. It's because their faith and their family faith only lasted for a while. Because their faith never transferred or transformed from Monday to Saturday. How would my home be a place of family faith? It ain't gonna be by wearing a t-shirt. It ain't gonna be by wearing a cross on top of your chest. What it's gonna be by you and I teaching our children to live the life God commands us to live according to the Scripture. And not only us teaching them and telling them to live it, but we ourselves live it before them. Makes sense? My wife and I was getting into a conversation this week, and we were talking about something about our faith. And I told her this: you know, when Jesus called his first followers, you know, he said this: hey, you follow me, and I will show you how to fish for men. See, Jesus didn't say, come, I'll teach you. Jesus, I'll show you. That means, man, Jesus, what? He showed them how to fish. He grabbed the net himself. He jumped in the boat himself. And he showed, he said, no, don't touch that. Just watch. Watch me. And I've learned very fast that I can't just tell my kids to clean the bathroom, because they're going to clean them the way they think it's clean. You ever thought about that? No, for real. Cleaning, you got the front bathroom. Okay? 5 minutes, done. 5 minutes, I'm done. I'm like, Dad, I'm done. I'm like, what? Walked in the bathroom like, oh my God, what did you do? I'm thinking this is spirit of 20 plus the time. I'm done. Spirit of sin, done. Wipe it down with the Clorox wipes. And I thought, I can't have my daughter clean the bathroom and toilet and expect her to do a good job if I did not show her. Come back in. Grab the Clorox. Grab the brush. The brush. The brush. The scrubber. You didn't grab the scrubber? Oh, where's that? Grab the scrubber. You see the couple of videos? The soap stain. You got to scrub them off. After you scrub them off, you wipe them down with the Clorox wipe. After you wipe it up, you wipe it down with a nice dry towel. She's like, for real? Well, I can't expect her to clean the bathroom the way that I want her to clean it if I don't. You might, I'll be honest with you guys, I am kind of OCD. Being honest. I'm OCD. So the next step was, okay, take your bedrooms. Oh! Take your bedrooms. 5 minutes, done. Did you vacuum? Oh, no. Vacuum. Oh, let's clean the bedroom. 5 minutes, done. You put your clothes away, fold it all clothes inside your drawer. Well, let's clean the bedroom. Light it up. I can't tell my kids to clean their bedroom if I don't show them. Walked in the bedroom, spent about an hour just going through things, opening all the drawers, taking them all out, folding them nicely, putting them back in, taking all the bags that's all over the floor, shoes that's all over the floor, put it nicely on top of the shelf. And I went even a step further. exactly how to feed the children. And you don't just teach it, you gotta show them. You gotta show them how to live as parents. Does my wife and I always jam up? Yes, we do. There's many times I gotta go to my kids and tell them, I'm so sorry. Yeah, I shouldn't have done that. Yeah, I shouldn't have told you that. You know, there's so many times my wife hits me and my children. So many times. You shouldn't have said that. Apologize. So many times. So many times I'm talking to my son on the phone that I want to say something so bad, and my wife knows it. My wife and I have been married for so many. We've been together for 30 years, and she knows exactly sometimes what I'm thinking. And even before I say it, because she knows I'm thinking it, she grabs me by the hand and says, "Does it make sense?" How will my home be a place of family faith? Number one, we must teach it. We must teach it. My family has been without cable for a month. Really, we've been without cable for a month. We cut it. And my kids are now asking, Dad, when are we going to get cable back? And my wife goes, no, I like it on TV. Gives us more opportunity to have those conversations as a family. I miss my football coach. But I know that we lost us, like that's all I need to know. We must teach it, we must do it. We must do it. Life's going to be hard to live, especially when we have everything coming against us. Right? Because we are where we're at, and we are where we're going to become because of our faith. See, it's not only because of not having faith, it's because of our belief in Jesus Christ that Jesus said we would go through some challenges and persecution. Right? The life that's promised, all the promises here in Deuteronomy chapter 6, if you read through all of them, and check it out. He says, you will enjoy a long life. Right? He says you would have many children. Woo! You have many children. And this promise ain't just for you, it's also for your grandchildren. You must obey them in the land, and you're about to enter and occupy you and your children and your grandchildren must fear the Lord as closely Israel and carefully obey. And he goes on saying that I'm going to put you in a land flowing with milk and honey. This is the Lord as a God that answers to his promise to you. Because look, this is what will happen. Number 3. What will happen when my home becomes a place of family faith? What's going to happen? Can I be honest with you? Oh, hell's going to break loose. It is. It is. When all of us begin to live in our faith and we declare today, Lord, for me and my house, we will serve you, we will honor you, and we will live for you. Guess what happens, man? The bullseye on your back just became bigger. Because now, Lord not only sees your heart, but the devil sees the direction that you're taking. Things just opening up, things are just going to happen. It's making sense? I just want to close my message today. This Family of Faith series, or this House of Faith series, is so important. Why is it important? It's because God desires for your family to be blessed and to receive the promises that we have for you. Amen? But I want to read one more last verse in my closing. And this last verse, I want us to just hold on to this one. And here it is. Oh man, I need glasses. It says this: the Lord your God will soon, say soon, will soon bring you into the land he swore to give you when he made a vow to your ancestor Abraham, Don't let where you're at dictate where God is going to take you. Because your promise for God's blessing is soon about to happen. Don't get discouraged. Don't give up on where you're at. You're at where you're at because of your faith. But you're going to end up where God wants you to end up because of your faith. And according to the scripture, it says it's going to soon happen. It's going to soon happen. What we need to do is we just need to what? Hold on and keep trusting in God. Amen? It's soon going to happen. But also, let me give you some words of wisdom. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result. And I'm going to tell you the truth, and this week I had to really sit down and I even talk to my wife about this go home. And I'm getting to the place where I just want to just with this with one of my kids. We are where we're at because God has brought us through seasons of faith to place you where we're at. But we need to understand when we go through those times as difficult and trying as it may be, He's just preparing us for the next season. He's just preparing us. You are where you're at because of faith. You will end up where you're at because of faith. And what God does in this season, as like God took the nation of Israel through 40 years of desert walking, and one thing I didn't mention in Deuteronomy is that He's taking a new generation into the where? Promised land. So all your teaching right now and all your living right now is preparing your generation preparation to now move into the promise. And the awesome thing about Deuteronomy 6:10 is a place and a promise that you did nothing for. Is that the awesomest thing? It's a promise that we did nothing for. But God has really prepared that place because of the seed of faith that you're sowing now. 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 And what God has for you there is certain to happen because of what you're doing now. And I'm a believer on that. God gave me an awesome opportunity. After I made those little choices and little tweaks and this thing, God, I need you to show me, and God said, do this, okay, God, I just got rid of things. You know, I'm like, oh. That same day, a young kid walked into my office. And I don't usually let kids walk into my office and close the door. But this kid walked in, Mr. You have some time on this. And he shut the door and went, oh, okay, should I call somebody else in to maybe sit in this conversation with me? But then I looked at this young man and I said, you know what? Sat down. And go ahead. I know that you're a spiritual man. Whoa. I'm thinking separation between churches. All these things, separation between churches. Faith is more just knowing how God really loves us, living out our lives to the God and for the God who is. Why do we want our homes to become family of faith? Because God commands and God wants us to be. How? By loving Him with everything that we have. What will be the results of loving Him with everything that we have? Ooh, just read it. Read it. Read it. God's plans is for what? A long life. God's plans is for what? His presence to be with us. God's plans is for what? Amazing promises. not all the way down to Noah. Is it making sense? The one thing Pat did not share that I always like him sharing and hearing him share is about the next generation. Church, I believe we're in Deuteronomy right now, where God's going to take us into the promises, and it's a certain promise for us. And God is taking us and the new generation. Understand in Deuteronomy, not all that was in the desert experienced the what? Experienced the promise.